Have you ever felt like you were being watched? Maybe you've walked into a room and suddenly felt a cold breeze even though all the windows were closed. Or maybe, just maybe, you've been to one of Canada's most haunted places and didn't even know it. That's right. Canada may be known for its maple syrup and overly polite people, but it's also home to some seriously haunted locations. And today, we're diving into some of the most terrifying haunted houses across the country. And don't worry, if you get too scared, just remember, if there's one thing scarier than a ghost, it's Canadian real estate prices. Let's start with a place that looks like it came straight out of a horror movie. Number 1. Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel. Banff, Alberta. A luxury hotel. Check. A stunning mountain backdrop. Check. A long list of ghosts that could probably start their own ghost union? Also, check. This place is known for multiple hauntings, but the most famous ghost is Sam the Bellman. Sam worked at the hotel for years and always joked that he'd haunt it when he died. And because Sam was apparently a man of his word, people have reported seeing an elderly Scottish man in an old-fashioned uniform helping guests with their luggage. Now, imagine booking a fancy vacation, only to find out that your bellman has been dead since 1975. That's some next-level customer service. But Sam isn't the only spirit lurking around. There's also the doomed bride, who supposedly fell down the hotel's grand staircase before her wedding. Some say her dress caught fire on the torches that lined the staircase. Others say she simply tripped and fell. Either way, people have reported seeing a woman in a wedding gown dancing in the hotel's Cascade ballroom, despite the ballroom being completely empty. And if that's not creepy enough, guests also report hearing the sound of crying from the bridal suite. That's right. Even ghosts know that wedding planning is stressful. Number 2. Craigdarroch Castle in Victoria, British Columbia. If I told you there was a piano that played by itself inside a haunted castle, you'd probably say, that's straight out of a horror movie. Well, welcome to Craigdarroch Castle, where reality is just as spooky as fiction. Built in the 1890s by coal baron Robert Dunsmore, the castle was meant to be a grand home for his family, but there was just one problem. Dunsmore died before it was finished. Not exactly the dream home situation he had planned. Today, visitors report seeing the ghostly white woman roaming the halls, as well as hearing mysterious footsteps. But the weirdest thing, the piano sometimes plays itself. Imagine working the night shift here and suddenly hearing a piano playing in an empty room. Do you check it out? Or do you just quit on the spot and never look back? And if you're wondering whether you can visit this place, good news, you can. It's a museum now. So if you're in Victoria and want a side of paranormal activity with your history lesson, this is the place for you. Number 3. The Keg Mansion in Toronto, Ontario. Now, this one is wild because it's not just a haunted house. It's a haunted steakhouse. The Keg Mansion was once the home of Toronto tycoon Hart Massey and his family. But after the tragic death of their daughter Lillian in 1915, a housemaid, who was supposedly devastated, ended her own life by hanging herself in the main staircase. Some say the maid feared that a secret romance with Massey would be exposed. Others say she was simply heartbroken. Either way, diners at the Keg Mansion today have reported seeing the shadowy figure of a woman hanging from the staircase. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm out for a nice steak dinner and suddenly see a ghost dangling from the ceiling, I'm sending my food back immediately. There's also a ghostly little boy who enjoys running up and down the stairs, people have actually heard his tiny footsteps. And because he's a true menace, he's even been spotted peering out at guests while they eat. So next time you're at the Keg and you feel like someone's watching you, it might not just be your date. Coming to number 4, the Marr Residence in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. This house is literally older than the city itself, and, shockingly, it's haunted. Who would have guessed? Built in 1884, the Marr Residence served as a field hospital during the Riel Rebellion, and now it's home to not one, but 2 ghosts. The first ghost is an angry old man who apparently has a personal vendetta against women. Staff and visitors say he makes rude remarks, which is just rude in general. Sir, it's 2024. Time to move on. The second ghost is a child who's been seen standing at the front window. Some describe it as a strange light or an orb, while others swear they can make out a tiny face. Would you make it past the front door of this place? Because personally, I'd take one look at the ghostly Yelp reviews and walk away. And finally, number 5, the Grey Nuns Building in Montreal, Quebec. This one might be the most terrifying on the list. Today, it's a Concordia University student residence. But before that, it was a hospital, an orphanage, and home to over 1,000 nuns. And, because history is messed up, many of those nuns died from infectious diseases, and their bodies are still buried in the basement. That's right, there are literal skeletons in the basement. Students have reported gruesome nightmares, seeing disfigured children, and even encountering full-bodied apparitions of kids. The top floor of the building was once an orphanage, and more than 50 children died in a fire there in 1918. And now, their spirits are just casually roaming the halls while students try to finish their homework. Imagine pulling an all-nighter for your midterms and suddenly seeing a ghost kid in the corner of your dorm room. That's a dropout moment if I've ever heard one. So there you have it, Canada's most haunted houses. Whether it's a haunted hotel, a piano-playing ghost, or a steakhouse where ghosts watch you eat, one thing's for sure. This country has no shortage of creepy places. Would you visit any of these locations? Or better yet, have you already been to one and experienced something paranormal? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on future spooky content. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you ever hear strange noises in the middle of the night, maybe it's just the wind, or maybe it's Sam the Bellman coming to check on your luggage. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next episode of Global Keys.